Hi, this is Abigail Joy with I Am Marketing. I have Ryan Taylor here. He's the CEO of Dash Core Team. Dash was the first to introduce the concept of a master node, incentivized nodes, privacy features, instant transactions, and much more. Ryan, please expand on Dash.
Yeah, so Dash is a cryptocurrency similar to Bitcoin, but we built a number of value-added features. You mentioned a lot of those on top of that code. And so we have some of the lowest transaction fees. We've got instant transactions that confirm right away. It allows it to be used in many new different use cases. And we're working on a release that we're codenaming Evolution. And Evolution basically is a platform on which developers can develop apps within the Dash wallet, and it allows them to create custom user experiences and their own flows through purchase processes and so on. And so it's really a platform on which they can develop a payment experience that their customers will like for a specific use case. And on the consumer side, it's a much more friendly wallet. It's a way that they can interact with the network in a way they're more used to with centralized services like PayPal, where they can have a friends list and have favorited merchants that they can make payments to or search for products from.
Wow.
And so it'll create a much better experience for both users and the merchants.
Wow. That sounds like a really cool new technology. Is that coming out soon? Do you have a date or just still working on it?
Well, we are working on it. This is a monumental undertaking.
Yeah.
And we're changing a lot about the underlying technology in terms of how cryptocurrency works in order to make this happen. We started with the goal, and that means working your way back to the technology.
Definitely.
And so it is a long project. We have about 50 people on staff at this point. Probably about 30 of those are developers. And they're working on the software development kits for the developers, the APIs through which the various applications interface with the network, and so on. The user wallets, all of these things. It's being rolled out in stages, but we'll have the first fully complete version of all of the things I'm talking about roughly June of next year, June of 2018.
That sounds amazing. I'm looking forward to that, definitely.
Yeah.
Another question I have for you is how can we make cryptocurrency more friendly for its users?
Well, I talked about that a little bit with Evolution, but cryptocurrency right now is very unapproachable. There are three different main aspects that drive a consumer to use a new payment technology.
Yeah.
One is being faster and easier to use. Well, Bitcoin is pretty slow. It is certainly not easy to use. You're faced with cryptographic addresses and things that are pretty scary to most people. Security, it's very secure for the merchant, but for the consumer, if I send a payment to a merchant that doesn't deliver, I have no recourse whatsoever. It's like handing cash off to somebody.
Yeah.
And so there's no real thought into that aspect of it.
Yeah.
And the third is basically providing some type of an incentive for them to use it. So when you compare it to credit cards, it's slower, it's certainly less convenient, it's less secure, and instead of getting points and rewards, I'm actually the one paying the fee to use it. And so we're going to flip all those things on its head. We're going to get all of those aspects right, so the proper incentives are there for the consumer to use it.
Wow, I think that everything that you touched on is a lot of the main problems, and you guys are working hard to solve those, which is amazing. And then another question that I have is, do you think that the blockchain could help politicians be more transparent so people could keep track of what they're doing?
Yeah, so outside of cryptocurrency, blockchain has a lot of applications. We've seen that in everything from logistics to voting systems, and certainly it's a very secure way of counting votes. We actually have a voting system inside of Dash.
Oh, really?
So anyone can put a proposal up to the network for funding, and the master nodes operators, they get to vote, and each master node gets a vote. So it's a cryptographic voting process. It's impossible to spoof.
Yeah.
And so for democracies, what this means is if you issue a digital identity to each of your
candidates or
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
politicians.
politicians and
Yeah.
and the citizens.
Yeah.
They can't vote twice. It's
Yeah.
fully transparent in the sense that anyone can audit it
Yeah.
independently.
Yeah.
And so it can bring a lot of transparency to democratic systems for sure.
I think it sounds vital at this point.
Yeah. It is hard to implement though because
Yeah.
you've got a lot of different
True.
interests there.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone has to agree on it.
Yeah.
And then one more question is, what do you think of Jamie Dimon's recent negative comments on cryptocurrency?
Well, certainly anybody's entitled to their opinion. I think that what we've seen is that the cryptocurrency space continues to grow and grow.
Definitely.
And there are increasing number of supporters of what it is that we're trying to do. And I mean, the head of a bank is, I think, most incentivized to have that point of view because in many respects it competes with certain aspects of what a bank does.
Yeah.
And so I do find it interesting he's making those comments at the same time that his own bank is purchasing
I know, yeah.
a large amount of it.
Yeah.
And so
Seems a little bit like hypocritical, but I mean,
maybe he wasn't aware that that was
Yeah.
happening,
Yeah.
but I think that it's fair to say that this is real, it's
Yeah.
happening, it has been happening for a long time now.
Yeah.
It's clearly not a fraud at this point.
No.
I think that was a little extreme.
yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your show. Thank you
All right.
so much.
Thank you.